You know, the buzz around AI never stops, right? And it can be kind of hard to cut through all the noise. So today, we're going to do just that. We're zeroing in on one of the biggest, most hyped releases in a long time, OpenAI's GPT-5. We're going to look at the incredible hype before it launched, the complicated reality of how it actually performs, and what it all really means for all of us.
Okay, let's just dive right in. To get why everyone was so excited, you really got to look at the promise that OpenAI CEO Sam Altman was making. I mean, they weren't selling this as just some minor update. The promise was this massive, massive leap. He compared going from GPT-4 to GPT-5 as like going from a single college student to having a whole team of PhDs. A statement like that, yeah, that's going to set expectations through the roof.
And this image, yeah, it really nails the core idea. The vision for GPT-5 was about changing our whole relationship with AI. We're talking about moving on from just, telling a machine what to do, and moving toward a future where we're actually working with an intelligent partner. So what would that future look like with an AI teammate? Well, before this thing even dropped, you had experts just buzzing with ideas about GPT-5 becoming this proactive, smart collaborator.
And look, this wasn't just some marketing spin from OpenAI. Leaders all across the industry were saying the same thing. Just listen to Sarah Chochari from IC Innovations. She put it perfectly. The big dream here was to go from a reactive AI that just spits back answers to a cognitive assistant that actually works with you. That was the dream.
All right, so the hype was off the charts. Now, let's get into the reality. What did OpenAI actually deliver? What new skills did GPT-5 really bring to the party?
Okay, so looking at this timeline, what's just wild is the speed. The acceleration is incredible. Think about it. We go from the very first chatbots way back in the 60s, then jump to the real foundations in 2018. But then look what happens from 2022 onward. It's just bam, bam, bam. The jumps get huge and they get fast. GPT-5 was set up to be the next massive milestone in this crazy sprint.
So here's the official breakdown of what's under the hood. OpenAI rolled out a whole suite of powerful new tricks. You've got better multimodality, so it gets text, images, and audio way more smoothly. Then there's this massive context window, up to 1 million tokens. You can give it different personalities, and it even hooks into your Google account. But really, the two things that got everyone talking were agentic functionality and dynamic reasoning.
Okay, let's really dig into this agentic functionality thing, because this is the secret sauce. This is what makes that whole collaborator dream possible. It's the AI's ability to not just answer one question, but to take a big, messy project, break it down into steps, use tools like a browser or a calculator all on its own, and actually get it done without you holding its hand the whole way. And then there's this number, 80%. That's a huge claim. OpenAI is basically saying that when GPT-5 is thinking hard, it makes 80% fewer mistakes than GPT-4. I mean, if you're using this for anything important, slashing those so-called hallucinations by that much, that is a total game changer.
Okay, so the official feature list sounds pretty amazing, right? A more reliable, multi-talented AI that can act on its own. But then, once it actually got out there, the reaction from the tech world was, well, let's just say it got a little complicated. This is where all that incredible hype crashed right into the cold, hard numbers of the benchmark.
And wow, this contrast just says it all, doesn't it? On one side, you've got Sam Altman's promise of a whole team of PhD experts in your pocket, and on the other, you get this comment from a user online that's just like, bruh, it's 1% better than Grok 4. That kind of captures the mood.
All right, let's actually look at the numbers that sparked all this skepticism. So these are the benchmark scores that were flying around online from the Artificial Analysis Intelligence Index. And if you look, yeah, GPT-5's best model gets a 69 on reasoning, but that's just one tiny point ahead of its biggest rivals, Grok 4 and Gemini 2.5 Pro. And for a lot of people, that just didn't feel like the revolution they were promised.
And yeah, you saw this feeling all over the place online. This one comment really sums it up. After all that hype, seeing a competitor basically neck and neck on a key test, it really made people wonder, is OpenAI losing its edge here?
Okay, so the debate over the benchmarks is intense. But let's pull back for a second. Let's zoom out.
Forget the scores and the Reddit threads for a minute. What does this thing actually mean for you and me? For our jobs, for our lives? This is the bigger picture.
See, the real story of a new AI model isn't just how it performs on some test in a lab. It's all about how that smarts gets baked into the stuff we use every single day. That's when it really matters.
And thanks to that huge partnership with Microsoft, GPT-5 is getting plugged into, well, pretty much everything. It's now the engine in Microsoft 365 Copilot, helping you chew through your emails and docs. It's in GitHub Copilot, acting as a coding buddy who never gets tired. And for the rest of us, it's in the free Microsoft Copilot. And this is pretty cool. There's this new smart mode that acts like a traffic cop. It automatically picks the right model for the job, whether you need pure speed or raw power.
But, whenever technology gets this powerful and this woven into our lives, it brings up some really big questions. The power is amazing for sure, but it also opens up this whole new can of worms, new debates we absolutely have to have.
And I think these images capture that tension perfectly. On one side, you have this constant push for progress, and you're trying to balance it with, our human values. And on the other, it feels like we're all trying to find our way through this super complicated maze of new ethical problems.
And that leads us straight into the huge conversations that are happening everywhere right now. With every new feature, a new question pops up. Like, are these AIs just going to learn and amplify all of our own worst biases? And the big one, are they here to help us do our jobs or to take our jobs? Then you've got massive questions about privacy, about the staggering amount of energy these things use, and maybe the toughest puzzle of all, accountability. When the AI messes up, who's on the hook?
So this is really where it all lands. Look, GPT-5 is, without a doubt, a huge step forward. It's smarter, it's more reliable, and it's more plugged into our world than anything that came before it. The tech is here, it's ready. The bigger question now is, are we ready for it?